Hey, I'm Bob Robinson with Stahls. We're here in frosty Westchester, Pennsylvania to coach and train our latest scholarship winners, Lab Graphics. They're excited to see me and us, as well as learn some of the processes of heat printing and really take their business to the next level. All right, so we're heading off to see Henry and Leanne at Lab Graphics, our latest scholarship winners and the Shop Makeover candidates. They are not new to business. They have a wide format printing service, but brand new to heat transfer, to heat printing process. So, our goal here is to get them trained up and coached and use the new equipment, to learn how to use the new equipment that they just got and really take the business to the next level. And we're excited to do it, and I think they're pretty excited to see us as well. Hello. Hey.
Hi, Bob.
Oh, hi.
Hey, Leanne.
Hi. How
Nice
are
to
you?
meet you in
It's
person.
So nice
Good.
to meet you.
too. Henry, good to see you.
Nice to meet you, Bob.
Yeah.
Welcome.
My name is Leanne Avellino.
I'm Henry Blair.
Our company is called Lab Graphics, and we're based in Westchester, Pennsylvania. I'm the founder and owner. We've been in business for just over 21 years. I started the business in my living room as a vehicle graphics company.
Leanne was successful with it and was able to grow it to a place where she was so busy she needed to take on some extra hires and some extra help. At the time, I was working for a construction company, and I figured who better to fit that role than somebody who's going to give it as much as she gives it every day. So I came on in 2010 to help out with production. I've been here ever since.
I just love the place, love the space. I know it's
Thank
brand
you.
new to you. You stepped
is.
up, right?
Thanks. Yeah, we just came in about 3 weeks ago, so pardon our mess as we're still getting settled in.
I'm just impressed that you bought a new space just for me, which is great.
We've branched out over the years. We've moved from the living room to a building on our property. And most recently, in the last 3 weeks, we've moved into this amazing new space because we've experienced some exponential growth over the last couple of years, and we're excited to add new services with Stahls.
We started looking at other services we could, kind of leverage our existing customers with, and apparel and goods seemed like a natural fit.
We needed to have a nice new home for all of our nice new equipment.
Yeah, well, it's great, and we're excited to get you started on that. Yeah, it's going to be a good day. We got lots to do. Maybe start with a tour. Can you show us around? First of all,
Terrific.
this space is
This is our
home.
creative hub.
This is headquarters.
This is where all of our creative juices get flowing. Leanne has a lot of great stuff that comes out of there, and I kind of occupy this space. And then if you want, I can take you on. We can show you our conference room.
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to see it all.
Terrific.
Let's do that.
Back here we have our conference area where all the creative minds meet together. And
Okay.
Eat lunch.
Lunch is good. Lunch is important. I love it. No, it's a good space. It's the right shape, and it's a good space. Sometimes you have a space that's not really workable because it's like long, narrow, and tight. But this is good.
Well, we're leaving room for new hires.
Good.
For when
Good.
things ramp up.
When you take it to next level,
we
I've
have
got you.
enough space for new ones.
Yeah, I know in our initial interview you talked about potentially hiring somebody, so I was curious to see whether that happened or not. But
It hasn't. We felt like we needed to move into the space and understand it and make sure we had the right setup. And I think we're getting there. We're getting there.
Good, very good. All right, what else do we have?
let's go this way. I'll take you downstairs.
Okay.
So welcome, Bob. This is our production area.
Nice. You got some big machinery here.
Yep. We do big stuff.
I see that. Well, I've seen from your, your resumes and things like that, you do mostly wide format type of stuff. So,
Yep.
so got a Roland SP540.
Yep.
I've got a Mamaki CJV 150.
Yep.
This is probably your baby, I'm guessing.
This is
our baby.
Since
This
it's
is
like
the-
a lot newer than this
the
one, I can
newest
tell by the model
baby.
numbers. Yeah.
You know what? That Roland's been very, very good
Yeah.
to
It's
me.
tried and true.
Yeah.
I've sold
And
many
this
of
one
those
is
in my days, but
Yeah.
you don't see it. That still works off of a USB, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. But more importantly, here's our
Yes.
studio
Yeah.
filled
This
with
is our
fabulous
newest
prizes.
addition.
Yeah.
Awesome. You got 2 new 360 cap presses. That was by our recommendation that if you're going to get one, you might as well get 2. You had the Fusion, correct? That was here
Yes.
previously. When did you buy that?
Last year.
Last year, so it's fairly new. And then we picked up the auto open clam on the caddy, and we got the power platens
Right.
and a whole bunch of accessories and
Yeah.
other platens,
Kind
etc.
of all
All in one
sprinkled
area.
in here.
Got it. Okay. I think their biggest challenge is kind of structural at this point. My first impressions of looking at the space, while I love the fact that they literally went and bought a new building just for this expansion, I think they may have shortchanged themselves a little bit on the heat printing area, not knowing how much space it takes for the incoming garments and decoration, where to put the finished stuff. So we're going to have to kind of work through that and find a good flow. Maybe ultimately there'll be a change of space, but that'll be their call down the road once they're comfortable with the processes. All right, so we will work on flow at some point to see how we can make this totally functional and with the space that's given us, which is I'm excited for. That's good. All right. Oh, and we forgot about the Roland GS24.
Yeah, that little
Vinyl
guy.
cutter. We'll spend some time on
A
this
little
one too.
workhorse. This all started with
With one of those?
One of those.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, you're not new to business nor to graphics by any stretch, but you are new
We
to the
are.
apparel decoration part
We
of it. So we
are.
want to make sure you get a good foundation of about the reasons why and how and the whole philosophy and principles about heat printing, and then get into some how-tos and get you operating smoothly.
Okay.
Bob, that
good.
sounds terrific.
All right, and at some
good.
point, I'm hoping there's lunch. Yes.
Definitely going to be lunch.
All right. All right. So after being here for just a little while, meeting with Henry and Leanne, great people, love them to death, and I love their excitement for what they're about to do. The business is well established. They're great at what they do as far as their wide format graphics, just very inexperienced into this heat printing thing. And that's why we're here, is to build a little foundation, but also to get them some experience and start trying some things and trying out products, see how they're going to meet their customers' needs. All right, I just want to sit down with you guys and kind of talk about a little bit about your goals. What's your goal for the visit? What were you hoping to get from this today? And we'll see if we can accommodate that.
I'm just really excited to see materials. I really am, wanting to touch everything
Hands-on.
and find new ways of making graphics.
Awesome.
I have a little bit less experience than Leanne, so I'm kind of looking at this as a crash course for me.
Okay.
So I'm really interested to see how the machines work and really start to understand how we can push the limits of them.
Perfect. And it's great to me that you're kind of a clean slate. You're just really getting started, so we can really start you from, I say from scratch, but give you the real good fundamentals right up front. What I want to do is go over like what I call the principles of heat printing. The main things about why heat printing. One of them is any fabric. There's no fabric that's off limits because we have a transfer or an adhesive or something that will adhere to each of these fabrics. And it's not always the case with, say, screen printing, because now we're talking chemistry. Will it adhere to this, that? There's melting points, there's scorching points of different fabrics. Some fabrics are very delicate, et cetera. What I try to get you to do is to think beyond the t-shirt. I know the very first interview that we had, you mentioned t-shirts right off the bat, and everybody thinks t-shirts, and t-shirts are great, and there's billions of branded t-shirts sold annually. But I want to make sure that you're not known just as a t-shirt shop. You want to be a branded apparel decorator so that you can get their message onto just about anything and take it beyond. You look into like what they call promotional products. In the top 5, other than writing utensils, pencils and pens, things like that, bags, hats, jackets, some of the higher end things. We want to make sure that we're not filling up your capacity with low margin items. We want to make sure that you're getting the best bang for your buck and meeting their needs too, because t-shirts may not be. T-shirts are still there. They're never going to go away. There's going to be a good thing. We want to go beyond that. We need to get to the point where you can even think about offering them binders and things like this. Like this stuff is big. When you start into corporate
I see that?
logos. Yeah, that's just our flex style. That one happens to be,
Oh.
that's a pressure sensitive.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great.
That is beautiful.
But I could also,
What is this called?
that's our flex style. That's from our dimensional logos.
Yeah.
You've got some samples of that and some things here. So this is just a different version of it. So you can see the the detail that you get in the raised texture. And this is not hard. This is easy, and this is easy money. There has been, it's been a long time since I've actually worked in retail, but there was a lot more markup available for non-wearables than there were for apparel. The apparel market kind of got a little more competitive. These things still have a better, higher perceived value because it's classy looking, and it's not even real leather, but who cares? It works, it's functional.
Right.
But it's anyway, these are the type of things, again, thinking beyond the t-shirt and adding more and more to what they use daily and say what else could be offering them. And in this case, it's all about the decoration. These are a dime a dozen, but now this brings it to the next level. So having in a lot of cases, having the same logo size so that you can put it a lot of different ways. And we did that with some of your swag bags that we're going to put together. A lot of the images will be perfect for a hat, will also work for a left chest, also work for something like this, also can go on a bag. So you can use that same logo that you've got in stock for these, especially if they're repeat customers, and just keep throwing them on different things. You talked at one point that once things get going, you probably add some employees, at least one, maybe two. And so it's very scalable, so there's not much of an investment up front to expand. There's not much space requirements with a couple $1,000s and just a single employee with about maybe 4 hours of instruction. And they're really functioning for you and increasing your productivity. So you've got everything that you need right now, and I think this is going to last you for quite a while. But if you decided this thing you're going to start flipping over and you're going to do a lot more apparel decoration, it doesn't take much room. So a little 4x4 space is pretty much all you need for an additional person.
Well, and all these points that you're hitting on really speak to the value.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, that's what we're looking for in our small business is how can we get the most bang for our buck in terms of growing and adding value to our services. And that's why we think this is such a great fit for us. The first thing that impresses me is Bob's just knowledge. All of that knowledge, I really love that he's there to support me and our business and help us find the right fit for our customers.
When it comes to heat printing, time, temperature, and pressure. It's like our mantra here. Those are the three important essential elements of heat printing is the time, temperature, and pressure. And good news is you've got quality equipment that measures all of those accurately. Every transfer has its own recipe, has its own settings as far as being able to apply it properly. So they'll always come with that. So no matter where you get your transfer from, I'm assuming you'll get them from us 90% of the time, but if you should happen to, somebody gives you a deal on one or whatever the case is, if they don't give you the actual instructions on how to apply it specifically, don't use it because there's no such thing as one size fits all in this, no one application fits all. Time's easy to manage. Almost every heat press has a timer on it at this point, so you'll know how long, and it'll tell you it's on here for 320 degrees for 10 seconds, peel cold or hot, whatever. But temperature is most critical. There's a different melting point for all these different adhesives on the transfers, and so making sure that is dialed in properly and correctly, and making sure you have good equipment that is accurate. And so, and honestly, down the road, every so often, you'll probably want to maybe test your equipment and make sure. You don't want to wait for something to fail to see that something got out of calibration. It can happen. Easy to fix. We just need to head it off from the beginning. You do maintenance on your printers, so it's the same type of situation. Just making sure the temperature is accurate is a big deal. Pressure is probably the one that's most overlooked. Because people think that, oh yeah, it's medium, it's firm, it's whatever, you just smash it down. It used to be 350, smash it for 20 seconds as hard as you can and it's good. That's not really a good guideline by any stretch. There's a lot of ways to make sure that the pressure is right. We like to use what we call threading, like putting a pillowcase on. So you're using one layer of fabric and being able to get away from seams and zippers and buttons and plackets and collars and all those different things that can be in the way. There's a lot of ways to achieve that. And we're going to go over all this. This is just, you're not going to be tested immediately on this, but we're going to go over this hands-on, but this is going to give you a little bit of background. And so we'll talk about this and show this when we're actually downstairs and we start doing some actual heat printing. And we'll go over some of those as we're downstairs, the optional platens, the heat press pads, the pillows. Thermotape could be a big deal too, because we're going to be doing a lot of dimensional logos, dimensional emblems. That thermal tape will be a good thing to have because a lot of these cases when you're doing these extra things, especially when we're going to utilize your cap press, sometimes you get nervous that won't stay where it is, so we use that tape for sure. It's a two or three extra seconds to make sure that it's there, and it's better than damaging a hat or not having a proper application. Okay. I'm excited to start playing with stuff.
Yeah, I'm ready to play.
Yeah, I'm done teaching. I want to play. Let's get some stuff done,
Okay.
and we'll work on some of your equipment. And there's a lot of things that'll go into it. But more importantly, we want to make sure that the equipment is functioning properly, that you're comfortable, how you use every process within it. And we'll go through all those. And time I leave, you'll be professionals and ready to start making all kinds of money.
Thanks so much.
Awesome. Probably the number one goal I would like to accomplish here is to just really get them acclimated to this process, really broadening their knowledge about the types of products that can be out there. I see some eyes light up when we're talking about the emblems and where they can go, as well as outdoor graphics with heat printing. There's a lot of stuff there that they could really entertain, so we hope to uncover a lot of that with them. So you took 3 customers, general floor,
Yeah.
and you liked initially the
and
the
I
embroidered patch.
Like that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
So that's
that's
Beautiful.
embroidered patch for them. We also did the Zukin logo the same way, and then Innovation Foods, same
Yeah.
situation.
Oh, that looks
Now, again, this is the cool
So
thing
nice.
about this size is this is hat. This is left chest. This is any bag, anything that was just something tasteful. Because I like corporate logos to be a little bit smaller in my mind. But sometimes like that just screams it needs to be bold because it is bright colors. So those are your original ones. We took some liberties and we went ahead and made a version in flexstyle. So, and we took again more liberties with this. And we made this one a
Wow.
little more,
That is-
metallic option there.
That is flashy.
I love
I
it.
like it.
Yeah, and that'll appeal to most. And there'll be some people say, "Oh no, too good." But you've got options.
Great.
Once you find out what they like, and if they ooh and ah over that, then you know, okay, they like the next level. And again, this is not much different, but it's more of it's not an embroidered look, but that's the flex style version of the Zukin logo there too. These are big. I mean, they call them like liquid embroidery is what people are referring to them as. So you get this domed type of look. This is flex style as well. This is the domed look. So individual letters raised as well. This maintained the patch type of look because we did the same thing here, but they didn't separate it. They did the same patch type of look. I'll just give it onto that one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, but with because you gave us artwork 2 ways on that one, they just chose
Yeah.
just the outline version of it.
Oh, that's so
Very cool.
I've brought some other samples. Leather patches are monstrous, so this is real big. So these are exceptionally nice. There's leather and there's faux leather. What's really hot right now are these PVC, and now that's super
Wow.
dimensional and rubbery. Now
Colors so
vibrant.
rich
Yep.
and wow.
Yeah, whether it be
that's very
hats, whether
cool.
it be bags, even left chest. Sometimes they get a little bit heavy in my mind, depending on what you're using, but on jackets for sure, that type of thing.
Design-wise, how do I determine what's raised and what isn't?
A lot of that is done by us.
By Stahls. Okay.
Yeah. But you get a proof, so you get a 3D proof of that, so you'll know. You'll
So
get
I
an
can
idea.
understand.
You'll understand what it is. It's not going to be a
Gotcha.
surprise when they show up and go, "Well, that's backwards what I expected."
Right,
but you'll get a
right,
proof, and they'll understand it. You'll understand it for sure
And
before you
so
press
what
go.
about like washing and laundering?
All good.
Yeah.
All good. Now, the cool thing is, once you've got, especially with flex style, when you've got that mold already made and you want to reorder, and you said they love this on their hats, now they want to put it on a Yeti mug or on a tumbler of some sort, or they
Right.
want to do it on the portfolio that you guys are excited about.
Yeah.
Now we can get the same thing without the setup charges up front. Just
Okay.
tell them we want to do that in adhesive. So now you
Okay.
basically made a decal. If you're not there already, I would subscribe and get involved with our Facebook page, Heat Press for Profit. People are asking what you would think is a silly question. Everybody's so glad they asked it. It's really nice to stay current with trends and what people are doing, and a lot of hacks and a lot of shortcuts, not necessarily
Tricks of the trade.
circumventing the real. We're not going to compromise the integrity of the design, but we're going to
Yeah.
get there quicker, easier because somebody else already figured it out.
Awesome.
So yeah, this is
Wow.
the fun stuff. So we're gonna. I think the next thing is to let's try out that cap press, and because you haven't played with that yet, have you?
No.
All right.
All
So
right.
the 360 IQ. It's called 360 because we literally can print anywhere on that hat. We can spin it around, so front, back, side, all good. We did get it heated up. The nice thing is it's already preset out of the box exactly what we'll do 90% of the time. 320 on the bottom and 280 on the top. It's reading a little bit hot right now, but that'll go down. It gives you plus or minus, and it'll cool itself down a little bit. This is the settings that will work for almost all the dimensional logos with the exception of the 3D embroidery or the puff embroidery. that one needs more time because you're going to be using a different pad. This is the 1/8 inch pad you'll use for 90% of it. There's also a 1/4 inch pad. And the principle of this is we got the hotter heat on the bottom and the lesser heat on the top. And that's to avoid scorching. And it also allows that adhesive to be melted quicker from the bottom because these are thicker dimensions. If we did from top heat all the way through this, it would take forever to get through. First things this happens, you take the hat and you get rid of all the extra junk. This goes out of here. Again, this is where trash can comes in handy.
Okay.
Most important, the sweatband comes out, always.
Oh, okay.
A couple reasons. One, it's a deterrent for heat, or with the right type of hat, you could actually see a mark there too, if you get too much pressure or if it actually shows through. Okay. So there's a proper way to do this. Take the sweatband down, kind of pinch it where it goes, and you bring it around from the side, and you get it here. And the goal is to get centered and to get this visor as vertical as possible. You're never gonna, there's probably only 2 caps in the world that fit everything perfectly you don't have to work with. Right. And this style I had is very much like the Richardson 112. It's a Carhartt version, which I love. I did try it on. I like it. It might be my new favorite hat. While this is heating, it's actually softening that buckram a little bit so that it actually helps conform to this.
Still got a little
Yeah,
bit of
but
give. That's okay,
that's
right?
that's manageable.
Okay.
Yeah, this here is for 2 reasons: to help protect this again, to help keep the scorch factor down if there was a bunch of rayon or wool or something in here that could potentially scorch. The hack here is just like Henry did. He's a wise boy. He knows exactly where that center is now. So it's the inside of that right part of the V, and I want to line that up on my 6-panel seam.
Okay.
By doing this also, I've actually kind of pre-curved this so it'll lay flat. Again, there's almost a 30-second dwell time here. Yeah. I have time to go over to the next one and prep all that and get it done and get it locked down. So you have time to prep the logo. This is different because it's not a very tall logo, but if it were a larger in height logo, I would probably keep it down, no closer than a 1/4 inch away from that bottom visor. Okay. But because of this logo here, it looks like it's too low to me. Yeah. I would bring it up and get a little bit more centered. Eyeing it up is eyeing it up. You either got the eye or you don't. So what I'll do is, rather than tape that, if I hold that there for just a short, it's actually activating that adhesive, and it's going to hold there enough that I can cover this and then lock it down. And I don't have to do anything.
It's giving you the countdown right there.
It's counting it down. It scares me, so I hold it. Release.
Does that automatically pop up?
It does. There's zero scorched.
Lovely.
The thing with old style cap presses, they didn't have this complex curve here. You would invariably get this crease across here and cheapened it, and it just was almost not sellable. So there you go. That is a completed cap. Yeah, you're trying the next one.
Okay.
All right, show us how it's done. You've had your crash course. Now it's time to play.
So pull the sweatband up.
Yeah.
And
it's
then,
best. Okay, let me start you from the side.
Yeah.
It's easier to start vertically and come around from the side, because you're going to hook into things.
Like this?
Yeah, but change your hands a little bit. Holding it like this, and then coming around like so. That way you've already engaged the underneath, and you pull it where it goes.
Okay.
All right. I want you to get the muscle memory of that.
And so we want to get the brim straight up and down.
As much as possible. If it's got a slight tilt to it, not the end of the world. Yeah, and you're working that down. That's good. And even hold it down when you engage the hold down factor.
Can you feel the warmth?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not hurtful. Yeah.
Right.
It's not, it doesn't like engage. It's just kind of putting a little bit of pressure
Right. Yeah, there's
on
not a snap down, lockdown, because it's depending on how you have the cap adjusted.
Got you.
You feel comfortable with that?
I do.
Okay.
I do. So
all right, so where's your logo?
Here it is.
Right there where it should be, real close by. I would pre-curve it a little bit. Just a little type of fold thing. I wouldn't crease it as much as I would just give it like a rounded.
Like a rounded, like a.
Yeah, no, that's
a little aggressive.
Yeah. No, that's her nature. Sorry.
Look at that really quick and just tell me.
Tell you how well you did.
Mr. Expert,
Are you looking for
I'm looking
affirmation?
for to just make sure that it's kind of straight.
I kind of like it.
Okay.
If you like it, I love
And the
it.
height is right.
Yep, I'm feeling good about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep, it'll stay. Just let it lay. And just lock it down. And set it and forget it. Oh,
that's
it's gentle.
so nice.
And don't forget about your pad up on top too.
So
now you do peel that.
Out of this, and then peel this guy.
Release the lever. and then just take it off.
Wow.
You've got another professionally applied
So
cap.
nice. I think Henry needs to do
Okay.
it as well.
That's the maximum height I would come up with.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. About a 1/4 inch from the seam at the bottom
Center.
is where I would go. Now keep in mind your design's there, so once you get the paper off the backing, you'll be able to get closer.
Great.
Oh, he's a quick study. He's
He
got this
is.
one. Just
So the outline of that logo is the building across the street from where you ate last night.
way cool.
Should we try?
You
I
should
think so.
try. So there's no preheating necessary for this.
Not really, because when it's laying on there, it's actually preheating itself. I find that 320 on the bottom is, if it's on there long enough, it'll be enough to penetrate
Yeah.
through. But you can speed that up by just kissing it. I wouldn't even lock it down, without the pad on there. Just like kind of get the heat up against it a little bit. Yep.
Ooh.
Not bad for my first hat.
I think Hallmark makes a card for that, so we'll get you.
So can we do another one for
You c-
Zugan with a? Do we have an embroidered
we did.
one?
There's one right there.
Yeah, I am. I think I went a little too low.
No, you did not.
You don't?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, it's perfect. And in case we didn't have success, I had already some pre-made.
So this is what we're aiming for, Leah. This was
Again, I was just testing. I want to make sure I was comfortable with the hat, so we knew what we got in here. We weren't into something. All right, she's over here in mass production already, all by herself. She's got this. This is really,
Oh, this is
I don't want to say it's like stupid easy, but it's once you get into the groove, you can
Well,
really
that's why
stop
this
thinking
makes
about it.
so much sense for us, Bob. That's because the learning curve is small.
It is.
The product is great, and there's awesome value in it.
There is. And again, I can't stress enough to keep attacking that high-end market. We could do the same thing, because we could really consider, if you get a client says, we just need a hats with our logo on it. What are you going to offer them? Well, maybe there's a good, better, best model there.
I'm going to use the tape for this one
Go ahead.
because it's not really sticky.
Yeah, I agree with that one. That one's a little trickier. So anyway, good, better, best. Have a low-end model. Maybe it's an upgrade on the cap. Maybe it's an upgrade on the design. Maybe it's a combination of both.
Right.
And then you get your best. And you price them accordingly. 90% of the time they're going to pick the middle one, because
Middle.
no one wants to be a cheapskate, but nobody wants to think they're
Wants
putting
to
junk
buy
on
the
there.
premium,
Right. So yeah, so they're going to get what they need. So you build in your best margin on the better, and go from there. And that's kind of very similar as you're building your pricing grid model. I wouldn't there's so many variables that could be here. I would go in categories and say a full front, full color
So nice.
falls within this range. It's going to be this much.
Right.
And now that's and of course then you custom build. You add that to either a t-shirt or to a sweatshirt. Costs are different for each one. So you've got,
So great.
That's awesome.
I love it.
yeah, so I think they're going to like these. I think we're in good shape.
Who doesn't like free swag?
Yeah, exactly. Well, especially you love it because it's going to come back with a
I was
whole
going to say, it comes back with
buckload of
orders.
So not only do they need that, but when we talked about the next level,
Oh, wow.
Oh, you did.
We
And
did
look
bag.
at that.
yeah, so you do that. Now this would be
wow.
perfect to actually be the swag bag. You
Yeah.
put your items inside of that, and now
this
they've got
is
it. But this is
great.
functional for, again.
What a
it's-
great idea.
no problem.
Oh my gosh.
I just want to.
love it.
I want you to capture it all. I want to make sure you just
I
don't relegate
love
yourself to
it.
a very
Wow.
pigeonholed market. And then your premium would not only include that, but the polos and/or the T-shirt, and then you start getting into find some wholesale tumblers and get the adhesive version of
Right.
that. So again, you just something you can offer. And if you
And
got a
we've
couple
done,
prototypes,
we've done that before with the tumblers,
Yeah.
and it'll be great to not have to sub that out this
We
time
did.
Oh, yeah.
and keep it in-house.
Yeah.
yeah, because that's the easiest thing ever.
So on a tumbler, it doesn't require the heat.
No,
It just doesn't.
no,
okay.
that's when you order with the pressure-sensitive adhesive on the back.
Okay,
Same
okay.
logo.
All right.
Literally, this is on file in there now, and you go back and say,
I
need,
want that,
I
I
want
just
Zufkin, I
want
need 25
pressure-sensitive."
Zufkins, but
Okay.
pressure-sensitive.
Okay.
Logo won't change because they already have the mold for that. They don't have to
Yeah.
retool anything.
So we really do everything sticky. Everything's sticky.
Oh, and again,
This is good.
you throw onto that padfolio that you're excited about. So
Yeah.
it just keeps going. So it's fun. A lot of fun. All right, so I just wanted to
Is
throw
that our
that
new
in.
tagline? Everything sticky.
Everything's sticky. Maybe.
Sounds like you're selling maple syrup or something. So we've done your logo in both black and white, and these are all goof-proof.
Our own labels.
And that's what we're going to show off here because
That's
you've got
nice.
that tag-along platen.
I just want to be energized. I really want to see all of the machines in action.
Ah, that's the best. I love
That is
that.
the best.